Hey there, fellow entrepreneurs. I'm Sue, and you've just stepped into Entrepreneurs Gone Wild. Every week, I'll introduce you to a friend of mine, a remarkable entrepreneur who's not just changing the world, but also harnessing a secret weapon, time outdoors. Together, we'll dive into their journey, unpack invaluable business advice, and discover why embracing the wild is not just good for the soul, but also a goldmine for inspiration and innovation. Ready to uncover the secret that's boosting bottom lines and fueling joy? Hit subscribe and join us in the wild.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's a real treat for you. I'm excited to introduce to you Whitney Erwin. She's a holistic health practitioner and clinical herbalist who's been transforming women's lives since 2015 through her practice, 4 Seasons, Harmony, Holistic Health, Healing, and Ayurveda. Whitney holds a master's in clinical herbal medicine, which I didn't even know was a thing, so this is going to be really cool. And Ayurvedic certifications. Her journey began with her own healing from chronic conditions using natural methods. She specializes in women's health, addressing hormonal imbalances through holistic approaches. Get ready to meet a practitioner who's revolutionizing women's health through holistic healing. Whitney, I'm so glad that you're here.
Thank you so much, Sue. It's such a delight to be with you.
This is going to be so fun. So before we were recording, guys, we figured out she's living where my grandparents lived. I spent a ton of time there. I know the view that she's got looking out her window, and oh my goodness. So this is going to be really fun. I have a lot to learn on here. Hopefully this will be beneficial to all of you as well. And Whitney's an example of that we can follow. So let's dive in. Whitney, I have the first question I always ask is, who do you serve and what problems do you help them solve?
Yeah, so I serve women, and especially anyone struggling with chronic hormonal imbalances. And that can look like PMS, hot flashes, menopause, infertility, depression, anxiety, and helping them to feel better on all levels holistically through natural medicines, holistic health, and to alleviate chronic pain, to build and restore vitality and live a long, healthy life.
I love that so much. So many of the circles that I'm in, like I'm in various communities, I've got entrepreneur friends who are also going for that. Like they're older women, they've had their own struggles, they're going through this and they're helping other people. And I can't wait to make some introductions for you because, you know, none of them have like the background that you have, but they just have the heart for it. I think that this has been a largely an ignored kind of area of health. We're taught, you know, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. Nobody talks about hormones and like, how did this happen? How did you get interested in it?
Yes, well, as you may have guessed from the name of my business and so much about my background, I am a nature lover through and through. So really from that place in my heart that has felt and still feels so connected and whole and complete and happy and healthy when I'm outside, and seeking to bridge that in deeper ways to other areas of my life over time. And I didn't have a lot of choices or pathways available that matched those values and intentions I had for taking care of my health holistically when I was younger, but I do now. And I was seeking for my own personal healing for a very long time, like a solid 8 years, and trying to find natural medicines that really worked. But it was not easy at all. And then on the other side of that, seeing there was a huge need for other people feeling the same way, and how they could feel really comfortable with their healthcare choices, have them be truly more natural and holistic, but not at a surface level, like really going very deep and comprehensive.
That's incredible, because there's just not that much out there. Like if you have anything, you go to the doctor, they're just writing you a prescription, 100% of the time. That's what I've experienced when I've gone for anything. It's for people who don't want to do that, who don't want this pharmaceutical route for stuff that could be fixed other ways. I'm so glad that you're doing what you're doing. That's an incredible thing. When you first started looking at this, so it was first for your own healing, and then you're like, okay, I want to help others.
Yes.
Was this I didn't even know there were certifications in this type of style. Like, was this eye-opening to you, or did you kind of know, am I out of the loop?
Yes, well, no, I don't think so, but I don't think it's always been that way. And, I really love to study, well, everything. Anybody knows me, I love to learn. But regarding history with herbal medicine and holistic health, these have actually been pathways practiced mostly through indigenous cultures on this land for many, many thousands of years. And so it's actually not that foreign. It's just cultural amnesia, and it's just taught that at this time. That doesn't mean it wasn't true before. Doesn't mean there weren't female doctors for hundreds of years until they forced closed the botanical colleges in the US and required only men to enter medical school. And so those are just, in my point of view, temporary things, just these ebbs and flows of history, but those aren't fixed things that have been happening forever. So I actually like to focus my time and attention on holistic healthcare pathways and systems that have been around for thousands of years. I find a lot of trust and efficacy and maturity. So it's not something we're just playing around with as like this new thing or new age fad.
Yeah. Oh, and it's so cool. So this is crazy, but all right. So my family, my dad's side, our claim to fame as far as like a famous person that we're attached to is Meriwether Lewis. And he had no kids, so we're like Uncle Meriwether. His sister, or maybe it was his mother, was basically a medicine woman. We have her desk that she worked at, but she was called in like a doctor to come in and care for people all the time. And we have like she kept all these meticulous notes, and it's just incredible. Like that's,
Wow.
To have that, we have people are like that. Like, you're right. I mean, this has been thousands and thousands of years. There are so many things out there that we have forgotten how to use. How did you, when you first started going into studying this, did you have support from people? Were they just kind of like, okay, Whitney's doing something weird? What was that like?
Oh my goodness, Sue, quite the journey, and it still continues to this day, but in a very good way. This is my soul's path. I can't do anything else, and I am just infinitely happier and healthier by honoring my values and doing what I love. And so, when I was younger, I loved math and science. I also loved the arts and music. I was encouraged to do a lot of different fields, but there wasn't a lot of discussion about holistic health or herbalist pathways, like that could be something I could do. But I'd already gravitated toward healing arts, and I love to give massages on my family members, and my friends would request them a lot. And I remember expressing that I really wanted to do more of that, and I was kind of shut down. And I, had a merit scholarship to an Ivy League school. I had really good grades. I was extremely interested and committed to serving and expressing my gifts and talents in a way that would go back to humanity. And I fell in love even more so with ecology and native plants when I was in high school. I had some amazing biology ecology teachers. They had a greenhouse, and I was hired to work for this native plant gardening company from a sale that I was doing internally in a high school class, and that turned into a 6-year job. And I just felt so incredibly nourished when I was working outside. And then I was like, well, how can I do more of this? And I started off as an environmental studies major at Dartmouth. And I also wove in a lot of art and creative studies, trying to merge all of these things together. And then I was very disappointed on a lot of levels about how few options there actually were in ways that truly met my values. And also then I got really sick my second year there. And that started my own personal unexpected healing journey, and not really finding options available that I felt comfortable with. And I had no clue before that. I was really healthy. And so it's often not until something happens that you realize how few choices there might be or how much homework you have to do. But when you need it, you really need it. So I later found out that these ancient holistic healthcare pathways have been around. These are not just new inventions, but I think there's been a lot of lack of access, a lack of value, lack of funding. And so we don't have those things at our fingertips. You have to really dig deep or live in the West Coast. there's a lot more holistic healthcare out there in general. I'm trying to change that in the East Coast for sure. I was met with a lot of skepticism and judgment and dismissal on so many levels, like from healthcare practitioners, from family, from friends. But I came to the point, I was like, if I'm not comfortable, something might be harming me and this isn't working and I need something else and somebody is not on board. I just had to get okay with, being true to my path and what I felt was right, no matter what anybody else said. Because if I had listened to other people, like I never would have healed. I never would have found things that really work from holistic healthcare. And I did find those things in time. And so I'm so grateful I didn't give up. And I just knew, like in my soul, like there has to be something within nature's toolkit. It's just so vast and creative and life-giving and complex. And, if you travel, you see the diversity of ecosystems. So, and then finding out there actually was later on was such a healing for me.
That's amazing. It is all dismissed so much. It's, you're also coming up against pharmacology, like the whole big industry on this. I don't think they want people to be using, herbal stuff. Like, obviously there's no profit in that. If you can grow something in your yard or something grows for free in your yard, like it's counter what they want to see. This must have been an incredible thing for you to have that realization. Like when you had that moment of going, wait a second, this is actually a thing and I can actually make this my business, that I'm actually like, this is how I want to do. What was that like to you to realize that it was possible?
Oh, well, I mean, such an incredible, priceless gift. And, as somebody that really values being out in the world and serving and making sure I can sleep at night. I don't struggle with that at all. My job, like I love what I do so much and I love truly helping people. And I know that I'm leaving them with tools and strategies that will work for them and that are very safe and supportive. And I take meticulous care around that. I do support, all fields of medicine. I think there's value in everything. I consider myself truly integrative. So just working across science, but 0% of anybody I've ever worked with in 10 years of full-time clinical practice has never had any negative interactions with adding in complementary holistic healthcare practices, like meaning they're indicated. They can work together with anything else that you're doing. It's for everybody.
It's so good. It's just an amazing field to me. I mean, as I mentioned before, like the first business I had, I didn't even go outside for like 17 years. So I had no idea what was out there. I know I was living somewhere that they were spraying the yards. I mean, outside was just not appealing at all. Now living like where we are, I'm like, oh my gosh, we found this plant. I'm like, what's this furry, soft plant with these nice squishy leaves? What is this? It's mullein. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you could put mullein in an infusion and now it's cough syrup. It tastes awful, but it works. Those realizations that you must have constantly as you discover new things that can work and you're seeing how it's working with your clients. It's got to be just like you said, you could sleep very well at night, which is really something. That's incredible.
Yeah, Sue, it is just beyond words still. It's just mind blowing to me. And then, sharing my love for what I found in a very practical way and replicating that for others, and just rinsing, repeating that all the time. And, just this morning I was meeting with a woman who came in with really low energy levels. She was referred to me by her counselor, who has a doctoral degree, and she's suffering with hormonal imbalances. And, she's doing phenomenal now. And she has a new job and she's starting her own business. And now that her health is better, and she started off like rock bottom and really struggling. And so, I just see stories like that all of the time, and you're just filling in missing pieces that they've never explored before. And I take a lot of time getting to know each person. I custom create everything. There's no one size fits all. So what are the herbs that are most indicated for you at this time and for your constitution? And then you're merging yourself with the whole plant benefits of nature, all of the elements. And there's something in the intake of that too, I find, like just the making of teas or, taking flower essences, that is very grounding and healing in and of itself as well.
It's so amazing. And then you just said grounding too, which is
Yeah.
fascinating to me. Like, I'm sure that's prescribed, right? Sometimes, and for various of your clients. I wanted to ask, like, how do your clients work with you? So it sounds like some come and they're referred by an MD of some sort. Is it like a one-on-one coaching? Is it like in a group? Like, what does that look like typically?
Yes, my great love right now and passion is working one-on-one most of the time, because I take such an individualized approach to healthcare. I find it's more efficient when we're dealing with a lot of chronic health imbalances, because it's usually been going for a very long time. And so just moving the needle as fast as possible for that person and not trying to fit into a mold or group environment that may not be exactly what they need. So I also love to do as much group work as I can as well, teaching workshops and supporting other people, classes. At this point, I've gotten a tremendous amount of organic traffic from my website that is just taken to Google over the years. Initially, I was just all referral based for many years. And it was, a lot of professionals and yoga teachers, doctors, counselors, who trusted my work or had been in, experienced that, and then just referring their clients in. So, I'm grateful to be out there more. It's actually not in my comfort zone though. I'm like a very private person. However, I'm so motivated by the results, and also just having people have more choices, for my women. Like they're not locked into just one thing, that they may have many choices, or they can combine them all together and have this synergistic approach to healing. So that's what I do. And, if you're listening and you want to work together, just know I take a lot of time with you in the beginning, and, just an introductory breakthrough session with no commitment to move forward, because I value spending time with my women. And that's really my service to women's health. There's like nothing rushed about that. Full transparency, making sure you know exactly what you're going to receive. And there's just nothing in that I feel I can't skip any, corners, and make sure that you have what you need.
It's like what I imagine medicine having been like years and years and years and years ago, where the time was spent, the people knew each other. That's an incredible thing to have somebody, there's always, when you're, in my experience, anytime dealing with doctors or whatever, it's like, but do they know? They don't know me, like they don't have the time. They're so overscheduled. So they're just bouncing from one office to another, and some very important stuff could get left out. And you're not doing that, which is really cool. The ripple effect is just hitting me of what your work is doing. So you've got some women who are becoming mothers because of their work with you, or they've already had their kids. Now they're going through menopause, and without all the craziness and, the relationships that can be saved because we're not unhinged, like, and the energy levels, like you were saying with your client. Now she's able to go start a business, have this better job, with her business. Now she's going to be serving people. Do you ever just lay awake at night? I know you're sleeping well, but as you're drifting off, do you ever think about like, wow, like the ripple effect that on the kids, the grandkids, the society in general, the families? That's incredible.
Yes, I do. I just got chills now as you were talking about this, and it really moves me to tears often. And I am just so phenomenally humbled and inspired by what I see. And I personally don't take credit for that. I'm very accountable as a healthcare practitioner, but I give credit to the plants and my teachers and holistic healthcare pathways. And my job is to pass that on in a very authentic way of integrity. And like my website, 5-star reviews, period. Like that's the only kind of relationship I'm interested in with client care. I take it very seriously. And then exactly like you said, even if no woman is intending to impact others, it's just how it always inevitably happens. It's like a law of physics. So, they heal themselves, they feel better. Of course, their whole family is going to improve, right? Of course, their whole workplace environment is going to be positively impacted. So I find it so selfless. And then looking at that generational healing component where it was with my women that have children, it's like they're passing on everything they've learned in their own healing now to their children, right? And that's going to live on for so many more generations to come. It's mind-blowing.
It really is. I mean, that alone would have me hopping out of bed to go, oh, this is great. And I love that you're coming from this place of service. The best thing about entrepreneurs is you take on a problem, you take ownership of this problem that you didn't cause, and then you've devoted yourself years and years and years in the study and the money you must have poured into that and all the attention you've had to pay to learn all of this. And now you're serving with people. That is just mind-blowing to me. I love that about entrepreneurs and the way that we serve and what you're doing. It really is generational, what you're shaping for people or with people. That's really, really cool. Long term, what do you if you could look 50 years into the distance, what do you imagine this might become?
Well, I sincerely hope, Sue, that it's a more accessible field of healthcare. So herbal medicine and holistic health, there can be a lot with holistic health, like lifestyle, nutrition, and mindfulness, and that no woman should ever have to struggle to find those things. Yeah. And that more women are growing up with those things from day one. And it's just so much more normalized. I'm already seeing some of that happen. Like with the college students that I work with, they were like, oh yeah, I've gotten lots of massages. And this is like a primary form of healthcare, like seeing a lot of holistic healthcare pathways where it's like I know what I need and I have a lot of choices to get that as soon as possible. So I don't stay sick or living with these chronic healthcare conditions for longer than need be. So that I also want to see more in education. I think most of my women kind of get this on the side, but where it's just something where it's not like, oh, that's alternative. I'm like, well, plants to me are the original form of medicine.
Yeah.
So, how will we ever get there? And kind of reversing a lot of those things that I think are just temporary cultural myths, where you're seeing these choices is readily available, accessible, easy to find, and valuing them also as equal players.
That's so great. Now, I've always heard, I don't know, maybe you'll know if this is true, that all pharmacology, like the pharmaceuticals, I don't even know if I'm using the right words, but the prescription stuff that gets produced in labs, that actually most times came from a plant originally. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
That's wild. And so if we're able to, to have this stuff in its raw form and use it, it seems like that's probably better.
It's such a complex conversation, and there's so much to that. And ultimately, I love to work with any practitioner, any fields of medicine, and co-creating together. I do see a lot of cultural appropriation, especially from indigenous cultures, where it was like they've been using that plant for thousands of years for healing, and somebody tries to patent it, 20 years ago and not give them any compensation. I think there's a lot of ethics there that we're still dealing with, and making sure that we're working with sustainably sourced plants and medicine, that we're teaching things in a very safe way for all people to receive, educating on all of the known risks. And about 75% of the science on herbal medicine is really bad science, and so you have to be very discerning about what you're reading and making sure you know how to understand research, because there is so much deception. And so I'm very particular about that. My clients know that. They know that I'm extremely picky because I'm non-competitive and women-owned. I refer out all the time, and I have tons and tons of companies that I'll refer to that specialize in things that I don't. And they know when I make a referral, I trust them, and they've gone through that process. So yes, it's so complex, and I think we're always learning more, hopefully growing together and supporting each other across lines.
That's so cool. It's like you're like the advocate for, you know a lot of things in like directly, but then you're also able to advocate for them, like because you've researched some of this, you've known, you've like, that is so cool. I love this. Like, wow. All right. So like for you, what is when you are outside, I know you've been able to build your business so that you're able to be outside. What was that kind of like? Because that's definitely, flies in the face of hustle culture. Everybody's taught, work until you drop, you can sleep when you're dead, that kind of thing. And here you've built this entire practice that's completely opposite on that. Like you are outside when you need to be.
That's right, Sue. Well, it's an interesting thing. I'm just observing from a young age a lot of those trends. And I was so clear when I was a teenager, I'm like, corporate culture is not for me. Little did I know that was embedded in a lot of things. It was very, very difficult to avoid. However, I feel so incredible when I'm outdoors. And I feel like it supercharges my energy and productivity. And so that's just something I try to remind myself, especially in the busiest days. I'm like, I know I need to spend more time outside today because it was extra busy or all these things happen that were unforeseen and stressful, because I know it's the fastest way for me to come back to my core centering, to feel more peace, to clear my head and decompress. And I'll feel better. So for me, it's kind of reframing that. I kind of like, well, what is hustle culture? Because I see all the people that are burned out on the other end. It's not working for them. I'm like, that has a shelf life to it. And I mean, I'm the first one to work really hard. And for sure, I don't think you have to sacrifice those values to also spend a lot of time outside. And I think it's getting creative. And I think it's learning to stop when you need a break to recharge, because I think that helps people be more sustainable and happier in their jobs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Do you ever end up like prescribing, like, go take a walk, like go hug a tree? I mean, go sit down on the ground.
Yeah, I don't use the language prescribe. It's not my scope of practice. In different ways, recommendations. I give homework and practices. Oh my goodness. Yes. And often that's one of the very first things that I will say. I'm known for this. My clients know this too. Like once a week for 1 hour, I'll say, I want you to go to a place as wild as possible. I mean, a park will work, but the wilder the better, because there's more prana and vitality. And go to a place with rushing water. So waterfalls, a lake, a river, a creek, anything where you can hear that sound moving through, in addition to being outside, and just spend an hour there. Like, I just want to block it off your calendar with no plans. And I was like, it's fine if you end up walking the whole time or dancing or journaling. It's also fine if you take a nap or you just look at the water the whole time, just having no plans. And that spontaneous time in nature is extremely healing. And I have a lot of clinical terms around that, but my women know that it works. And then I'm like, keep doing this, keep this up in your schedule. And that helps to restore them if they're exhausted or fatigued, and they feel better.
Oh, that's so good. I mean, I would never have believed that it actually works until I did it. And I was like, I don't want to do it. It's going to be hot, buggy, boring. I don't like it. But now it's like you start to crave it, right? Have you had some pushback from clients where they're like, I'm not really an outdoorsy type, that type of thing?
Oh yeah. Well, I really work with everybody, so I get to know them and like, what is their job environment like? And like, I had a woman who is living in a country environment. She's like, oh, we have 3 rose bushes outside that I've never used. And I always teach my women how you can find, herbs at your fingertips and backyard medicine, and something like rose water or smelling roses is extremely medicinal and therapeutic, very naturally. Yeah. And it was like, well, use them. Why don't you go into your backyard right where and just access the rose bushes? It just hadn't dawned on her to make that bridge. And then I have some people like New York City and very urban places, or they might have very long hours indoors. And, they find a way. And we just have to get creative and think outside of the box. And most of the time I find if there's resistance, you just haven't experienced time outside, because it's like everybody falls in love. And if you get outside on a spring day in a park and the flowers are blooming and the birds are chirping, like you can't help but feel amazing and just overflowing and happy. So I think having those positive experiences with nature are helpful. And noticing the contrast too, try it both ways. If it didn't work, there would be no point in it. But everybody tends to find it does work when they try it.
Oh, that's so great. And I'm right there with it, because it's like once I got it, I was like, oh, I need this like every day. Right? So for you, what is the thing that you might be doing outdoors when you're going to get a great idea, a creative thought, just like insights, that type of thing? What happens when you're like, what are you doing when that happens?
Well, oftentimes I'm not trying. I'm just plugging myself outdoors. And I think walking is a very big time for my creative process. And sometimes I'm like, I just wrote a whole article. I just wrote my to-do list. I have this new, like, I'll go home and I'm like, I need to write all this down because all these things came spontaneously when I was outside walking and I was just trying to take a break kind of thing. So I think that it's extremely helpful for my creative process. And if I'm stuck on things, I'm like, I'm not sure where to move in this direction, or I've been considering this decision and I'm not clear yet. Time outside will give me that clarity either way. And, I just get myself really quiet. Like I see that's my job. Like let the ego voice be as tiny as possible. What is right and true at this time? And the harder the decision, the longer I'll spend outside. So if there's something really big looming, it's not just my like daily nature walks or routine. I'll get outside for hours hiking. And I know after several hours, like the answer will eventually come.
I love that. And it's such a weird thing. Like you said, like you're not necessarily like trying to make something happen there, but it's like, if we're outside, I think what used to get me was it felt like it was boring. Now I'm like, that's actually really good to have, that sense of I don't have to do anything. Like the mind can rest a little bit. Do you find that some clients almost have like, I know I've had this feeling of like, if I relax too much, maybe I can't get it back. I can't get that hustle back, Like that feeling of like, if you ease off the gas long enough to relax, like what if you can't get it back? Have you had anybody with that? And what do you tell them? Because I know that's a big common thing for a lot of people. Like if I stop, maybe I can't get started again.
Yes. Well, I mean, we sleep every day. We have to, eat meals. And I think getting to know yourself as best possible, because I have that tendency, and I'm like a type A overachieving, like a really perfectionist person. I still have to reel that in a lot. It's just a lot better now. And so like when that comes up, I'm like, okay, well, this is me in my element. I'm creatively flowing and I'm in the zone and I'm working. And then I'm noticing, if I'm starting to feel hunger or I'm distracted by a basic need, my productivity, I know will tank. Like I could push through, but I know now that if I tend to those basic needs, which includes regular outdoor time, like because it's so dramatic how much it helps support my health and vitality and work focus, mental clarity. So then I'm actually stalling. I'll probably spend longer in the project. I might get more distracted. And we know with like Pavlov's hierarchy of basic needs and many other systems too, we have to take care of those things first for those higher states of development to come in. And so I just see a lot of more of those basic things. Like I don't question those things anymore. I just know I tend to them. There's not as much resistance there or questioning. I could not sleep through the night to work on that project. I could skip meals all day, but I'm going to crash later. I might get sick. I might feel horrible. So I know it's just not worth it. And I think you get to know your productivity times as well. And so you can still honor those, but making sure you're getting everything that you need within that, and then see what happens. Like, cultures in Scandinavia have gone to 6-hour work days, 4-day work weeks with no loss in economic gain, none.
Wow.
So their basic needs are being met. There's been dramatic decrease in healthcare costs. I think that speaks volumes. Of course, you could work more if you wanted to, but what if you're actually more efficient with less time?
That's amazing. I love how logical that is. Like a brain can, an entrepreneur brain can go, that makes sense. Like, that is so cool. My goodness. All right. Where can people find out more about working with you?
Yeah, my website, fourseasonsharmony.com, is a plethora of resources and support for you 24/7. And you're always welcome to attend any of my live workshops. And I have a 7 steps to creating lasting hormonal health resource for you that's free. You can grab that anytime, and that'll help get you started with some really practical, time-tested tips. And you can be in touch anytime to work with me one-on-one. So yeah, let me know anything that I can do to help support you, answer any questions.
Oh, so good. Well, I'm going to be getting that resource now. Like as soon as we hang up, I'm getting on that. That's wonderful and very generous. And I know that that's going to actually really help a lot of women. So thank you so much for being my guest. This has been I've learned a lot. One thing I've learned is that there's so much more to learn, but there are people out there like you who know this and who are studying and have devoted their lives to it. So thank you.
Oh, my sincere pleasure. I love what you're doing. And so when I saw the podcast, I was like, I can't believe this exists. This is incredible. I'm wishing you the very best. And thank you so much for everyone listening. And you're amazing.